So what we're going to do is we're just going to go step by step about what we do. And then on Wednesday, typically for us, Wednesday is our O-line drills, and that's when I'm going to get all the drills. So on Sunday, so what we do is, before we get to Monday, on Sunday what I do is we always have an O meeting and a D meeting and a special teams meeting. We typically don't see our families on Sunday. Saturday we're getting all the film, or Friday night we're getting all the film for the next opponent. And it's our job as a staff to break down the film. And so that when we get into our meetings, we know what we're all talking about. We have thoughts, suggestions, and going on from there. So on Sunday, the first thing we'll start off is we'll have a special teams meeting with all the staff, go through that, game plan it, and then the defense will go in one room and the offense will go in the other. And of course, Pat's in charge of both, but there's a D coordinator that we have. And then we sit down and we go through all of our run, all of our throw game, and then we're all set. We go in there. So it's important, I think, as especially an offensive line coach, of knowing what the scheme you're going to see for that week, what their stunts are, what their movement up front is, and what to expect. Because if you don't know that, then the kids aren't going to know that, and I don't want the kids to be surprised coming into the game that day. So on Monday, what we do is we have our O-line meeting. We start off with this, and I explain to them all the new fronts that they're going to see. I draw it up. I did something new this year, is I actually gave them a packet, and so they sat down kind of like you guys are here, and I had all the new stuff up on the whiteboard, and they were writing it down. Because I don't know if they're visual learners, if they're hands-on, if they need both. So I have it all up there. We have all the new fronts that we're going to see. And then all the new stunts, I've drawn them all up. And by the way, a lot of you have Huddle. If you don't have Huddle, you should get Huddle. And then I've been tagging them through all of my film breakdown. And I tagged them all, and I categorized it being the fronts, or the stunts, the blitz pickup, the fronts that we're going to see, and I have it all separated so that each night, depending on what we've got going, I'll show you, of what the kids are going to see. So then, player evaluation, I'll go through and I'll say, hey, 76 D tackle plays a 3 technique lot, he's a spinner. So I got to make sure that I'm working on spinning that week with our guys. Or hey, the kid loves to rip and then fight back underneath. So different things that I think that you as a coach needs to understand so that your kids don't get caught with their pants down on Friday night. Any of our new play adjustments that we've got. Some weeks we're not running certain plays, some weeks we are. So again, that's what we're doing for on Sunday nights. And then I'll write all the new plays, adjustments down the board, and they're writing them down. Then from there we go into a big giant team meeting. That's where we usually talk about all the new specials that we put in. Then we go through all the D plan on that type. Then we'll go out on the field and we'll go into our group D, what we call. So Monday's more of a defensive emphasis, and we get all the new schemes in that we're putting down. And then we'll go Team D, put it all together. Sometimes, depending on what our D coordinator is doing, sometimes we'll do Team D first, and then we'll go into group, depending on how he wants to package it. And then we're going to go into Team O on that day. I was just on Glazier Clinic, those webinars or whatever, and there was a guy from New Jersey on here, and he says he never films his practice as a high school coach. And I'm like, not even your O-line? He says, no. I said, how do you make corrections? Don't need to. I'm like, really? I don't know how you can't make corrections. So for me, I'm always filming. I'm filming every day, because if you're the O-line coach and you're trying to watch 6 different guys, including the tight ends, there's no way. You can't see what's happening on the front side, you can't see what's happening on the back side. Maybe I'm more worried about the center this time, or what happened on each tackle. And if you're not filming things, I think you're missing out. Somehow, some way, you got to be able to film. Way back when, what I did is I bought a 16-foot A-frame ladder. It's huge. It's big, probably weighs 300 pounds, 200, it weighs a lot. And I have my managers run it out, middle of the field, put it up, and we have an offense going this way, we have an offense going that way, and they're on top filming. They turn film here, turn film here, turn film here, turn film here. And if we're later in the year and we only have one group, or I'm more worried about our 1s and 2s, we're only filming that segment. We now, within the last 6 years, have put deer stands on the end of our goalposts, just connected to it. So I'm always filming. So on this Monday, we're going through all of our new run and all of our new throw adjustments. We film it. And I'm actually the only one that looks at it. I mean, I share it with the staff, but I don't think anybody else looks at it. So then Tuesday, it's another defensive emphasis. We go through our pre-practice. Now, our pre-practice, we call it a hog meeting. We have a hog heaven where we'll call it up on the field. And that's the area where these kids that are not on the specials, kickers, punters, snappers, whatever, holders, it's just me and my offensive line. And I go through all the corrections from that night, from Monday night. Now what I've been able to do is we're not two platoon, but some of my guys are only offensive guys. So instead of now doing this huddle thing, I'm in the locker room and I have 7 clips that I need to show the kids from practice last night. I've already had them tagged. You're watching a lot of film and you're going through those things with the kids. So if you can't do it in the locker room, you go out in hog heaven, you put the bags down, and I go through all the stuff and I say, okay, here are the corrections that we missed. We got to make sure, and I've got it written down, or on huddle, I've got them tagged. So I set up the defensive front using the bags. I review all the fronts and stunts again, and all the adjustments of play. Then at this time, we go into Group D. This is where my offensive line goes against the defensive line. We're working our pass rush. Okay, because it's still a defensive emphasis, but if I know Nick Clemens, who's only playing offensive tackle, doesn't do any reps on defense, he's going to be playing tackle, and he's going to do the pass rush. So anytime we have a tackle, left side, right side, he's working it. He's constantly working. So he's trying to get better. This is the only chance, besides in Team O, where we get a chance to do any sort of pass rush. So this is a big emphasis for us. Then next we go into Team D. Sometimes we don't do Team D, sometimes we do. Just depends on what the D coordinator is doing. And then we go into Group O. This is our inside-outside drill where we're just running offensive plays. I spoke at a clinic a few years back, and one of the coaches from Sheboygan North heard me speak, and he said, hey coach, when you do this inside, you told us that you're running about 100 plays in this segment. He says, I couldn't believe you. He came up to our practice and goes, now I understand why you guys are running. So every night when I film, in this inside, we're running plays. We don't huddle up. We're at the line of scrimmage, offensive line against the defensive front. Pat might call 26 power. Quarterback turns, says 26 power. Set, hut, bang. Next play. So we'll run 2 to the right. We'll run 2 plays left. So we'll go tight right, tight left. Tight right, 2, tight left. Bang. And it's constant. It's firing. So every night I'm watching, and again, this is up to you. I'm watching between 60 and 140 plays a night that we're running. That's between this and our Team O. And our Team O is probably only 30 plays. So this is where we get most of our run done. So during this time, what we're doing is we're running plays, but my 2s or my 1s are standing right behind me. And they're making the same call. Whatever play we're running ISO, and our guys are calling their combos, they're looking at the schemes. My 2s are standing right behind me, making the exact same call. And if I can't hear what they're saying, they're getting lit up. Because either they're screwing around or something, and they got to be making the calls. And sometimes on clips, when I show, you can see the guy standing right behind me. And you can see it, hey, they're talking, they're making the scheme adjustments. Because bang, they're in the next play. The ones come out, they're standing right behind me. They're making the same calls. So we're in and out trying to get as many reps as we can. Somebody said, hey, why don't you huddle up to help the quarterback? Okay, the quarterback's just repeating what coach has called. So he's kind of getting it down. And we usually use a 2-minute cadence at hut instead of doing the full cadence. We're usually not using any motion at this time. So we're just trying to snap them in and out. Then we go back, we're running our Team O, come back up. Again, this is filmed again, depending on where we're running. Middle of the field, 2 groups, 1 group, back in the end zone. And then we put in our new throw concepts again at this time. So then I come back in Wednesday. Now Wednesday is our offensive scheme day, and again we go back, make all the corrections. By the way, if I back up a little bit. So on Sunday night, after our team meeting, I will forward out to the kids, to the O-line group, all the fronts. So if we're seeing a 3-5 and a 3-4, I'll tag, I don't know, 30 plays, bang, bang, bang. You guys need to watch this. Here's the new front we're going to come up. Monday night then, I'll throw out some corrections to them, And then I'll say, okay, here are the new fronts and stunts that you're gonna see. And I'll have, I don't know, 20 different fronts and stunts, whatever they're gonna see. And so that the next night, they're seeing this, because by Wednesday, we gotta be putting all these fronts and stunts in that they're gonna be seeing. But they've already seen it before. So, because on Monday, I'm not gonna throw it all at them, because their practice is gonna look like crap. Tuesday, we kind of incorporate a little bit more, and then by Wednesday, we gotta go full blown. So now here's all the corrections from the night before, again. Hopefully none of the same things, like the night before. And then we get into our Indy O. And of course, we're always doing specials, by the way, if you're thinking about it. We've got specials in here, so. And now, my technique, and again, am I doing this a lot after our 2-a-days, our camp stuff? No, but we are, I'm still watching it. A lot of the stuff that we're doing, we're on the white lines, one step. So we're always working our first step, 6 inches punch, quick hands, thumbs up.